Welcome back, everybody. This is Eric here with Iraq Veteran 8888. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Faxon ARAK-21. This is a pretty unique weapon system. We're going to get into it a little bit more, but first let's lob a few rounds down range because why not, right? Let's have a little fun. All righty. You're low at 250. Just left. Low. 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 Still low, huh? Yep, still low at 3. There you go. All right, now you're high right above the head. There you go. Put some in there. That poor coyote. He's always got to be the subject of our wrath, doesn't he? Oh, yeah. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about this particular rifle today. Faxon came down and brought some really cool toys, and you're going to be seeing some really crazy stuff coming from these guys in terms of videos that we're going to be putting out. You know, we've got our annual range day upon us, so they were already down in our area anyway for range day, so we thought we'd have them come down and we'll show off some cool stuff. The ARAK system is a very unique type of rifle system. There's actually a ton of different things that we can cover about this and go into a lot of different things. You know, one of the things that strikes me about this rifle is the fact that it has so many unique different design aspects about it. It doesn't necessarily just blatantly rob something from one platform or another. It takes those ideas and sort of improves on it a little bit, and it's sort of its own animal. So you can probably guess that by the name ARAK, it is sort of a marriage between the AR-15 and the AK-47. So it's kind of a hybrid style rifle. It is a long stroke, piston operated gun. This particular carrier, obviously, we can swap this bolt out to either direction for left or right hand ejection, which is a really cool feature. Okay, on the lower, this particular one has a Law Tactical folder. So this is a unique platform in that it can be shot with the stock folded in addition to the stock open. The gun will continue to operate even if a damage has occurred to any of the rear stock components, and the stock can obviously shoot folded for better compactedness, whatever you want to say there. Now, the lower on the ARAK is actually a little bit different than a standard AR lower in that these lines are a little bit cleaner, so that when the upper and lower are mated, it just gives some nice clean looking lines and cosmetically looks a little better, but the ARAK-21 uppers can actually be dropped on any standard AR lower. Okay, so that's one of the nice things about it. They're available in 3 different calibers. We're gonna be shooting a 7.62 by 39. You've got a 5.56 as well as 300 blackout. And another cool thing about this is if you buy an ARAK upper, the barrel swaps are really one of the most interesting components to how this system works. And again, we can go into a ton of details. I'm going to try to keep this relatively short. You can see when you look in the upper, there's actually these hardened steel rails that the bolt rides in. And this is difficult for me to show you, but these hardened steel rails, what they do is they allow the bolt carrier not only to tilt, but also keeps all of that arrangement nice and sturdy and consistent. And that's how you're able to get by with all these metal components within an alloy upper. Aircraft grade aluminum on the upper. Now, in terms of how the barrel is mated in here, there's these 6 screws here, and if you were to loosen them, it's a really cool arrangement because the lower part of this handguard assembly actually has these hardened steel pins that interact in here and allow a lot of those forces to really be taken off the screws themselves as well as the alloy lower itself. So those steel pins are really doing all the work there. the way that this barrel indexes and keys into the upper is a very, very unique arrangement. When you purchase additional barrel for caliber conversions for this particular system, it comes with the barrel as well as the gas block and a bolt. So that means if you only own one ARAK upper, you can buy three, like say you buy the 7.62x39, you can pick up a 5.56 barrel and a 300 blackout barrel and shoot 3 different calibers out of one upper and use the same lower as well. Now, a lot of people are probably going to mention this. Since this platform is also in 7.62x39, one tiny detriment is that it does use AR-15 C Products magazines, which is a specific AR-15 platform 7.62x39 magazine. You can see that it fits a standard AR tower. A lot of folks have been asking for some form of an AK mag-fed version. I'm not going to necessarily say if that's something that is an option or not moving forward. However, to keep with the compatibility of being able to truly have a truly modular system between all 3 different calibers that they do, they had to stick with that magazine system to keep the modularity. So that's one thing to consider. And then obviously 300 blackout is going to work out of a standard AR-15 magazine. There's a lot of interesting features of this gun, and I could go on in terms of a lot of different things, but they're available in, I want to say 4 different barrel lengths or 3 different barrel lengths. I'll have to check on the exact barrel lengths. But on the 7.62x39, this is a 12-inch barrel. So definitely, even with the suppressor on here, it's got a little bit of noise going on. This is a 1-in-8 twist barrel that is on this particular unit. You do have an adjustable gas system. All right, so between the 5.56 and 7.62x39, you do have a little bit of adjustability with the gas system to account for rough field conditions. You can also turn the gas system off. The charging handle, you can see, is a pretty unique arrangement. It's non-reciprocating, so it's just spring-loaded. But the charging handle can also be switched over to either side of the rifle, like literally in less than a minute. It's just a quick, pop it out and move it over to the other side. It's a really robust arrangement, and the way that this barrel, actually fits into the upper receiver on the ARAK is pretty cool, because the pin for the lower actually interfaces with the bottom of the barrel lug. The way that they're able to fit this geometry in here, another unique aspect of the way these guns are designed is the feed ramps for each of the calibers is specifically tailored to the cartridge that it's intended to shoot. So they're able to actually get the feed ramp instead of having to be stuck with an M4 profile that makes a jump, and it works most of the time. I mean, you can't deny an M4 ramp works relatively well. They're actually able to specifically set the height of that ramp perfectly for each of the calibers that they convert it to. So that means that the 7.62x39, if I look at the feed ramps, it's considerably lower arrangement. So you don't have this weird jump or anything. It's a much more tailored feed ramp that lends itself well for that particular caliber. Now, we are going to shoot the 7.62x39. We have an ACOG on this one, and we got a Holosun red dot on the 7.62x39. Barrel lengths, 20-inch barrel, 16-inch barrel, 12-inch barrel. I have to check on the barrel lengths there. It's a lot of information, guys, because these things actually have some really cool engineering that is put into them. Also, another thing is suppressing. Now, this little 7.62 is a loud little devil because it is such a short barrel, but they don't gas very badly. So in terms of suppression, not only do you have the adjustable gas system, but you don't have to worry about gas escaping out of the rear of the action. That's a common problem with the standard AR-15 platform, is that you do have a lot of gas that will escape out of the rear of the gun. The ejection, if I didn't mention already, can be changed left or right hand, and obviously that can come into play pretty hard when it comes to suppression, obviously keeping those gases out of your face, or if you're a left-handed shooter, keeping the brass from flying back in your face is obviously a concern. So it is an ambidextrous platform. Really cool, it's different, you know what I mean? And I think that, and a lot of the stuff that we do so much stuff with ARs, and we do so much stuff with AKs. It is a lot of fun to see something that is kind of a unique product. And we've really done, videos on the ARAK stuff before here and there. Like, I know we've done like a few little SHOT Show things where we're just kind of checking them out and showing them off. This is the first time we've actually gotten to take one of these things out to the range and play with it a little bit. And obviously, guys, we got, full 1913 pick rail all the way around. So plenty of real estate for your accessories and things like that. It's a pretty wicked setup. This one's 1/2 by 28. and that's 5/8 by 24 on the 308s in terms of our threading there. So I'm going to shoot the gun a little bit more, and Chad, you know, man, this is a Chad gun, like, because he likes to play so much with hand loads, and you know, that's the cool thing is the ammo sensitivity of some ARs can be ammo sensitive. This is something that if you got one round that's maybe a little hotter or a little lighter or whatever, you can tune in that gas system, or if the gun starts to get super dirty, you can literally pop that sucker out and really get down there and clean against the gas port, which is not something that you're going to be able to do on a standard AR-15 or really an AK, not truly as well as you can on this. So by pulling that gas system out, you can actually clean that port really well if it gets gummed up or nasty, which is another nice feature. And then you get the adjustable gas system. So for you hand loaders, if you want to just be able to poop the brass barely out, you can really kind of tune it exactly the way you want, so you're not slinging the brass all over the place or whatever. All right. We're running just some PMC 62 grain green tip M855. See, I reached up, I reached for a T-handle, it wasn't there.
Don't worry about it. I was doing that earlier too.
I'm so used to it. It's up here.
Definitely a different manual of arms.
It's a different manual of arms, but it's a pretty unique setup, and I like it.
All right, so I want you to hit that gopher at 300 yards. Remember, aim a little high. I don't know where you're aiming on the big gong.
You got it.
Elevation looked good. You were slightly left. You're actually a little bit too high now. Right over the top of his head. Right over the top of his head. Right over the top of his head. Yes! Right in front of his nose. Right behind his back. Yes! Oh, no. You're over to the left now.
It gets in there.
You're not even giving it time for the sound to come back to us. It's sending them in there, man.
Yeah, it sure is, man.
Good grief.
It sure is. Man, you know, a couple of initial observations in terms of, you know, just running this gun, initial observations. The handguard does get a little bit hot because of where the gas system's located. Obviously, they've tried to alleviate that a good bit by offering this porting here to help it cool a little bit and everything like that. It does get a little bit warm. It's not a terribly big deal, but that's just something to consider. And, you know, obviously, because the whole upper is such this crazy piece of aircraft grade aluminum, you know, it is going to work as a heat sink because of the way that this barrel is clamped into here. It actually clamps up through 3 different, basically, mechanical bond points. So that when that barrel keys in there, it physically keys into 3 different key slots, and it's held in place by this upper handguard, or the lower handguard assembly. It clamps everything together. So what you get by that is you do get a little bit more heat transfer because of the physical contact of those materials. But you know, I would imagine it also draws heat away from the barrel, but you do get a little bit of heat developing up there. Another initial observation is also the very, very gentle and smooth recoil. I would say just a super smooth butter kitten, fuzzy kitten smooth recoil impulse. I mean, it really does not kick hard at all. So between, you know, an AR to an AK, I mean, comparing the two, you know, the AK can have a little bit of crazy recoil depending on what caliber it's chambered in. I would say the recoil reminds me very much of shooting like a Galil. It reminds me exactly of a Galil. Long stroke, you know, nice balance and weight ratio to length, so you get just a really gentle recoil impulse. So that's just an observation there. And in case I didn't mention it, you know, the uppers on these, they'll drop on any AR lower. So you don't have to necessarily have Faxon's lower. Faxon's lower just provides that kind of feng shui, you know what I mean? A little bit of cosmetic appeal there, okay? It looks a little cleaner if you use their lower, but it obviously will work on any standard lower. And that's also fun too. If you got your favorite AR lower that has, I don't know, like a awesome Geisley trigger or some type of aftermarket trigger, that allows you to be able to use your favorite trigger if you want, which is cool. And obviously you can still drop a aftermarket trigger in this. So either available as a complete setup or just as an upper. They actually move mostly uppers in terms of what Faxon runs with these. Most people buy this as an upper solution and then they just run it with their existing lower or whatever. Pretty cool. That brake is working really well too. All right.
Good on my ears.
Oh yeah, it's loud. All right, one more mag, and then we're gonna put the 7.62 by 39 back together, swap over to that, and we're gonna lob some 7.62 downrange. You obviously still retain a adjustable stock. That's pretty cut and dry there. And then we got the Law Tactical on the other one, so it folds, which is cool. It really does give you some flexibility. And the way that, another initial observation, is the ejection port covers. Like on this particular unit, it almost reminds me of like the Beretta ARX in that you have this large open ejection port, which allows cases to clear a lot more readily, so you don't have to worry about cases getting stuck. And then also, because of the generous way that this port is open, and on this one I can see it from either side of the firearm. So if I need to do a press check, I can do it, or if there's a malfunction or stoppage, which I don't really see that ever being a problem, but if there were a malfunction or a stoppage, it allows me to quickly and visually inspect and know if maybe it's short shucked or if it's a double feed or whatever. So that does give us a little bit of playing around there. The bolt stop is only on the left side of the firearm, so that is the only other aspect that is not ambidextrous is the bolt stop. Minor thing. All right. Oh yeah, she's hot. Woo! Yeah, that aluminum is a good heat sink. Which ACOG is this, Chad? That's
it's either a TA45 or a TA50.
TA50-4. So this just has a basic kind of duplex in the middle, and it's not a stupid amount of magnification, but you can definitely get out. We're shooting out to 300 yards, by the way, with this gun.
I think it's a 3 power, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I can see that. It's about 3 power. All right, I'm just gonna lob a few in.
At 3?
Yeah.
All right. Wow, right over the top. Right over the top, high, it's slightly right. There you go.
I'm gonna go for the pumpkin over there.
Go for it. Right over the top. Right over the top, slightly right. Right over the top. You may have nicked the stem. There you go. Oh, those pumpkins are blowing chunks. Right over the top. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it's in there. All right, we got it. We got the gun a little hot. Let's try the gopher.
Go ahead. Slightly high and left. Right past his nose. Right past his nose again. That was kind of like right over the top of his head. Right in front of his belly. Right behind him. It's like right in there.
That poor guy.
You're missing him by like an inch on each
I know.
side.
Yeah, it's a tiny target.
It is. Shooting the half-size D28?
Yeah. All right, one more mag.
Need to get rid of that pine limb.
Neat. All right, how about the coyote?
Okay. Right over his back. There you go. Right under his neck. Right under his belly there. Yep. Right under his belly. Right over his back. when you were just taking your time on that coyote, he's about, I don't know, 6 or 7 inches tall. You're keeping him in there pretty much right around his, midsection.
I'm trying to shoot fast. Like, that break is obnoxious, but it's awesome.
Hi, my name's Eric, and I like to shoot fast.
Well, the thing is, I was really wanting to try to follow up shots a little bit, like sort of, wrap a few out.
You got a couple on there, like double taps at 300.
I'll take that.
Very controllable.
All right, we're gonna switch over to the 7.62 by 39 and take a couple of shots. I'm a big fan and proponent of this cartridge. I really like 7.62 by 39. Ballistically, it's probably got some limitations, but what cartridge doesn't? I mean, once you push something out far enough, you're gonna find something's limitations. I mean, any cartridge can have obvious limitations, but I think 7.62 by 39, especially for Georgia, is a perfect little, like, couple of 100-yard, farm gun, that kind of stuff. I really do like that cartridge, so let's swap over and have some fun with the 7.62 by 39. Let's do it. All right, guys, we're gonna run the 7.62 by 39 ARAK-21. We got the dead air suppressors. Sandman K is what we're running on this particular unit. Yeah, we're running just a little Holoson red dot, so we don't have the magnification that the 5.56 version afforded us, but we're gonna do our best. And something kind of cool I wanna mention, and this is just personal. This is for me, not necessarily anything related. Well, I guess it is somewhat related. All right, you see these bands on here? So Faxon, the first man can that we ever sold, we did a whole bunch of these mag bands from Faxon so people could identify if they had, funky mags with different ammo in it so they wouldn't get them confused in the same platform. So this is actually one of the earliest man can products that we ever sent out to our viewers. It was in the first AR-15 can that we ever did, had these little bands in them. So you can obviously see 7.62 by 39 yellow. That lets you know, hey, don't put the wrong mag in the gun, that kind of thing. So that's a handy thing that they sell those little mag bands as well. All right. Let's have some fun. Alrighty. Red dot city, son. You ready?
Yeah, you going for 100?
Yeah.
All right, send it. All right, you're favoring like on the left side of the plate. I think you can probably see that from here.
Yeah.
So you're favoring, elevation's perfect. It's just a few inches left.
I'm gonna hit that plate down at 200.
Go for it. Right in the face.
Good deal. All right, at 250. Ooh, that's kind of hard to see.
Kind of blends in.
Yeah, I may have to, let me dial down. Now, something, this is sort of a ACOG style optic. One thing that I will mention is when I'm running EOTech style optics or anything that's a holographic style optic, I find that I get better accuracy at longer range with a red dot when the brightness is tuned down. Get that on the mellow side a little bit. You can kind of see through it a little bit better. When you have that brightness up, it kind of obscures what you're trying to see. It's just something to make note of. All right, I got it dialed down real low. Let's see if we can connect at 250. I can barely see it.
Right over the top of the head. Good windage. Got it. Got it.
All right, 300.
Send it.
Very, very distinctive last round bolt hold open. I could really feel that bolt stop. Very discernible stop on the bolt. That lets me know the bolt is to the rear and my magazine's likely empty. That impulse.
Feed me, Seymour!
Huh?
Feed me, Seymour! Feed me!
That's right.
That's what it's telling you.
That is.
Feed it!
It's like, thank you, may I have another? All right, 300.
All right.
With a red dot.
Go for it. right, so about the first half of that mag was in about a pie plate. Are you out?
Yep.
Are you OUT?
We're getting our suppressor a little bit hot, boys and girls.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep shooting.
Look, the first half of that mag was like a pie plate, and then they kind of started walking around, and then they kind of dipped back in a little bit.
Well, I'm shooting kind of fast, and I'm using a very broad point of aim. The dot on this optic, I would say probably obscures 20% of the plate. It's kind of a broad point of aim.
The first 5 shots were like this, like a fist. I was like, what is going on?
I'll take it. I'll take it. We're gonna keep shooting because reasons. I got ammo, might as well.
Get that pumpkin.
The pumpkin?
Yeah, come on.
You got it.
He needs to blow some more chunks, come on. Right over the top. All right, a little too low. There you go. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, just for fun, let's see if we can hit the gopher with a red dot at 3.
Go for it. Go for it. Just behind him. There you go. Yeah. Just low. Just behind him. Just low. Yeah. Oh, just in front of his belly. Man, I don't know what happened, but you started hitting real far to the right.
I mean, I'm
talking about from the gopher. You were aiming at the gopher.
I know. I started. All right. So look, I'm gonna shoot 30 rounds on that plate, and we're gonna make it happen.
You're gonna just start a cadence and just keep up with it.
Maybe.
All right. I mean, there's no sense in me spotting. I mean, you can't miss with that thing.
It's pretty accurate. All right, we on it?
Oh yeah, you're on it. You know where to aim.
I can't see because all the jacket splash.
You're kicking up too much dust down there. What a cool rig. Man.
I love the recoil impulse on that one. That little 12.5-inch barrel is just kind of barking right in there.
Ooh,
you think we ruined the can?
Nah. That can's rated for just about anything you can put through it. Is it now?
There's like a little voice in the back of my head that's like King Leonidas going, I'd be the judge of that, and like kick him in the, kick him in the pit.
Indeed. Very cool.
It is neat. It is neat. Guys, thanks for watching today's video. We hope that you learned something about these guns, and we hope that you enjoyed what you saw here. You know, these rifles really do represent something outside the norm. And I think for a lot of folks, don't get me wrong, there's certainly ARs that are really awesome, and there's certainly AKs that are awesome, but this is certainly a marriage of many different concepts. I feel, honestly, even a little bit more than just as stark as AR versus AK. The obvious design aspects lend themselves to that statement, but I feel that there's a little bit more going on engineering-wise. There's some things that have been taken from several different areas, and there's nothing wrong with taking really cool design aspects from a wide variety of different things and turning it into something truly unique. And I think that it also really shows like ingenuity. There's nothing wrong with truly making something that is a new product. And in this saturated world of ARs, don't get me wrong, ARs are fun, but in that saturated market of different AR variants that are out there, it really does take a lot to sort of break loose from the herd and sort of make something that is truly unique and different and not just merely a copy of something else. So I think in that, it definitely wins some cool points there. She does get hot, but it's not really that big of a deal. This particular gun has these rubber rail covers on it, so that's not too terrible. you know, it's a really cool setup. It does provide a lot of modularity and flexibility to the end user. So, of course, that flexibility is up to you to determine how flexible it is to your needs. However, it is a really cool setup. The barrel change capabilities, definitely on point. You know, using one lower for 3 different calibers. Now, granted, you know, running these proprietary magazines versus an AK magazine, you know, that kind of is what it is. But to keep up with that modularity, that's something that obviously had to be done. So to have one platform that can shoot 3 different calibers and do it well, and each barrel being kind of specifically tuned in terms of the feed ramp for each round that they're making it for, I think it's a pretty forward-thinking arrangement, which is very cool. Guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed it today. We definitely want to take a moment to thank all of our Patreon supporters. You guys are great. Thank you very much for supporting our channel and allowing us to move forward and take on really cool projects such as this one as well. But also our ManCan subscribers, if you purchase ManCans, all the funds that we earn off of those ventures go right back into funding the channel one way or the other. And you guys are great. Thank you so much for supporting our channel. Also, thank you very much for watching. We're almost at 2 million subscribers, guys. It's been a really interesting road. And if you would have asked me 10 years ago what I'd be doing, after all this time, we've been doing this almost 10 years, guys. So thank you all for 10 years of viewership. It's really blows my mind to even think about the prospect that I've been doing this for 10 years. It's crazy, and you guys allow me to do that. So thank you all very much, and we appreciate your support. Many more videos on the way. You're going to see some really awesome stuff coming. We've had Faxon down. They've been doing some really fun stuff with us. We got a meltdown coming that's going to blow your little minds. They're going to be blown. So guys, thanks. We'll see you next time. Many more videos on the way. See you.